I was able to see exactly for what it was, and I didn't let that take me out. Instead, I alchemized it, and here I am. So shout out to you for being one of my biggest teachers, for being one of my biggest blessings, because without that experience, I wouldn't be this person. YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ada Rojas. I'm a soul-led entrepreneur, and every week I love to do business energy readings just to tap into the energy for the week and help you as you run and operate your business. You do not have to have a business to watch this video. There's like the most epic sunset right outside my window, and it's just like surreal. Like, I just can't believe that I get to watch the sunset every day. And I'm so happy that I was intentional about it. Like, when I was looking for apartments, one of the things that I was very like a stickler for was like, I only want to see the apartments that face like where there's going to be a lot of light. So either the sunrise or the sunset. Like, I don't want to be like looking inside of a courtyard. I don't want to be blocked by, you know, buildings. Like, I just want to be able to at least see the sunset or the sunrise. Specifically the sunset. So for this building, I was only shown the apartments on this specific corner. And it's just so beautiful. I was talking to a neighbor earlier, and he lives on the other side of the building where you can actually see the sunset and a rise. And I was like, wow, that must be magical. But it's so pretty. All right, so as always, as I'm shuffling these cards, I just want you guys to focus your energy, call your energy back into your body, and ask yourself any questions that you would like clarity on this week for yourself or the business. And let's see what Spirit got for us this week. I'm pulling from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, but I'm also going to be pulling some cards from the Soul's Journey deck by James Van Praugh. And so let's see, first let's pull one card to signify a lesson that we will be focusing on this week, and just pay attention to how this shows up in your business, and then is reflected in your personal life, or perhaps how it shows up in your personal life and then is reflected in your business. I believe your business is a mirror for your greatest healing work. So whatever you're going through personally, it's always going to be reflected in the business, and you just got to be aware enough to catch it. All right, so pride is what came up, and it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So definitely the energy that this card is giving me is watch out for that ego. Watch out for that ego and its ability to trick us into thinking that we are larger than life, that we are in control, that we have only gotten here because of our own efforts, and completely disregarding source, spirit, the universe, whatever higher power you believe in. Like, that's what your ego does. Your ego will hype you up into thinking that you are basically the only one responsible for every little thing in your life and business, and it really tricks you into thinking that you have control, and that if you just continue to take action and continue to control your life as much as you can, then that alone, those efforts alone will produce the life that you're looking for, when in reality that is just not the truth. And also, your ego loves labels. It loves to be attached to an identity. So just take notice and watch out for the way that your ego tends to blindside you in this way, and really gets you attached to your identity, especially your identity as an entrepreneur. Like, if you were to have to go back to a 9-to-5 tomorrow, if you were to have to close your business, would you still be you? Like, who are you outside of your business? Who are you outside of your titles, for those of you that don't have businesses? Who are you outside of all of these labels and all of these boxes that you or your ego have put yourself in? Who are you? And if all those things were to be gone tomorrow, who would you be? Who are you outside of these labels? So it says, you need to take time to honor and acknowledge who you are and what your soul has accomplished with your life thus far. You should look at your past soul choices and be mindful of how, through your positive actions, compassion, and understanding, you have made a better life for yourself and others. How have you changed the world in some little way? How have you shared insights with others? Reflect on what you have mastered. You should never underappreciate or underestimate yourself or your accomplishments. Now is the time for you to remember how brave you have been throughout your journey. Celebration is required. Humans tend to spend too much of their energy and time on negative emotions or what they have not done. This card signifies that you should take rightful ownership of who you are and how you have shared your unique light with the world. It may also be a perfect time for you to look around and acknowledge those other souls who have also accomplished many great things and who need to be reminded of them. So I feel like this card and just pride is speaking to like these two parts of the pendulum, like these two sides that the pendulum swings. It's like, watch out for that ego, don't get too gassed. And then the other side of the pendulum is exactly the beautiful message that the card shared about, you know, acknowledge your efforts, acknowledge your hard work, acknowledge others who have helped you on their journey. Like, who do you need to thank that you haven't thanked, that has had an impact in your life and in your business? So definitely for me, those two sides of the pendulum, you always want to stay right in the middle. So don't be too gassed, but also like don't forget to celebrate yourself, and don't forget to be proud of your accomplishments and your hard work and the beautiful things that you have co-created with spirit. So you want to be somewhere in the middle. So that is the lesson for you to focus on this week. And also, there was something else that it said. There are some of you who never toot your own horn. Some of you who make yourself smaller in the presence of others because you don't want to brag, you don't want to seem like a show off. But there's a very distinct line between like bragging and just being proud of your efforts. So like, notice when you shrink yourself to make other people comfortable in your presence because you're anticipating their feelings and how they're gonna feel over you just being yourself and being proud of how far you've come. So notice that too, just like some things to be mindful. All right, so the rest of the messages for the week are gonna come from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. We're gonna choose 3 cards from here. All right, let's see, what do we need to keep in mind for the week? What do we need to keep top of mind as we run our businesses and navigate the last week of November, which is so wild? Like, how was a new year like less than 40 days away? That's crazy. Yo, it's crazy. Every time I use lately the same deck in a different video, the same cards pop up. So you guys already know what that means. When the same card pops up, it's like reminder, reminder, pay attention, pay attention. All right, so the first card that popped up is Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And it says, Seeding the Light, Laying Foundations, Divine Plan. The next card that popped up is Unbound. You guys know that this card has popped up in another reading. Comment the video below if you can remember. It says releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And then the last card is the ever unfolding rose. And it says, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So definitely the overall message from this spread is that, you know, you're having that tower moment. Things are changing. Maybe your identity is changing. This week feels like it's definitely going to be filled. I know there's a full moon in Gemini as well. And I feel like we're definitely going to be doing some shadow work related to like inner child. Maybe some stuff that has been like hiding in the closet that's been popping up. I know I've been having myself some very interesting dreams lately. And I'm like trying to see the connection between all of them. And definitely sitting with myself and acknowledging what has been coming up. Because it just feels like it's a lot of like, or at least for me, it's like one big subconscious thing that like it's very layered. And for me, what has been coming up, it's like, oh, release the shame attached to this. Acknowledge kind of like all sides, but also like it's time to release the shame. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't realize that I was holding on to shame about those experiences. So let me work on that. So definitely that's what I feel is like gonna come up into your psyche, gonna come into your consciousness this week. It's really kind of shining a light on, hey, you might want to check this out. You might want to trust that this is happening for you, not to you. You might want to look for the ways that whatever's coming to the surface or whatever you're going to experience this week, how is this happening for you, not to you? Take a good look at whatever you've been trying to like manage in the business. I just feel like there's just like a lot of overwhelm and you're like really annoyed because you're like, I've done everything right. Like, I just don't understand why this is happening. It's like something that just came out of like nowhere. And just pause and take a moment and see if you can find it within yourself to step back and to look for the lesson and to look for and to trust and understand that this is happening for you, not to you, and to see if you could find the like patterns, contracts, and past lives that are even associated with this, or what are the lessons, what are even things from your childhood that this is connected to. Can you find the patterns? Can you find the connections? Can you find how all of this is intertwined so that you could really understand how this is part of the bigger picture, how this is part of the divine plan, how everything that's unfolding for you this week is actually laying the foundation for the next big thing that you've been working to manifest and working to call in the next big chapter. And this feels also like ancestral. It's like, yeah, of course it's hard because this is not just it's not like a pattern that's only specific to you. It's a pattern that's actually very specific to your lineage. So like if you can look and see how it connects for you, then if you want to do extra credit, try to go back and see, well, how is this actually connected to my family? Like, where does this show up in my lineage? Like, is it my maternal? Is it my paternal? Start talking. You might want to talk to your family this week. You might want to talk to your nosy tia that knows all the family business. And see if you could just connect the dots. Like, I don't know. I just see like a lot of like a Where's Waldo situation, but the Waldo that you're looking for is like, how does this all connect? Like, what is the bigger picture here? How is this all connected? Like, where does it show up in my family, and then how did it show up in my childhood, and then how is then it showing up in my business and in my current life and the way that I navigate the world right now. So that's just what I feel like this spread is saying. But let's go ahead and get into the cards and see what they talk about. It's like, pull out the magnifying glass. Like, you gotta, it's gonna feel a little tedious because, like I said, I just keep seeing the image of where's Waldo, and you're like, oh, where is it? But also, one thing that I want to remind you is that you don't have to do this work alone. Like, you don't have to find Waldo by yourself. Like, it's like, no, that also feels like very hard and very unknowing. Like, I see like a lot of unknowingness in trying to like find this little thing. Like, how is this all connected? So remember that you can tap into your angels, you can tap into your guides, you can call in your ancestors in good health and ask them to help you understand what's happening, to help you step back from the situation and really see the bigger picture. Ask them to show you the patterns. Ask them to help you find Waldo. Like, what is the thing that connects all of this? Help me make sense of all of this. I really do feel like this is also a really great way for you to practice asking for help. And then once you ask for it, trust that it's already on its way. And then look for it. Look for the ways that that help is going to show up for you throughout the week. Look for the ways that that information is going to show up for you. Look for the ways that everything is gonna slowly start to make sense. And you might not see the full picture of it this week, but it definitely feels like you're cracking open something that is really, really important. And you're gonna get a lot of the big details like this week. And then maybe over time, it's like then those little small details are going to be filled in. But whatever the big details are, it's like, it seems like it's gonna come towards the forefront this week. It's like when you put a puzzle together and you've kind of put together most of the puzzle and you don't have like the little tiny pieces, but you can still see what the picture is. It's like that. It's like you're gonna be able to put most of the puzzle together, and then you might have like be open to you not finishing the whole puzzle this week, because it's like this is unfolding, but it seems like you're gonna have enough awareness to like make moves that are gonna benefit your lineage because of the information that you're gonna come across. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundation for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is now widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. Work Your Light activation says, hold the card on your heart and say, Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundation for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. So I'm going to go ahead and put this activation here on the screen so that you can write it down, take a screenshot of this, journal about this, and ask your guides that the seed of light within you be revealed, and ask them to help you surrender to the divine plan. Because this definitely feels like you got to do your part to like heal this thing in your lineage. Okay? And your part might look different than your mother's part, than your sibling's part, than your cousin's part. etc., etc. One part is not better than the other, but focus on your part. Focus on your part. What is your part? Do you know your role? And you better play the hell out of that role. I need an Oscar-worthy performance, okay? Then the next card we have is Unbound. You already know what it is with this Unbound card. It's giving a Tower moment. It's giving let go, release. Everything is happening so that you can finally break free of these deep-seated patterns. And this card is coming up again, so emphasis. It is time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiration date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiration date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It is time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. Work your light activation. Hold the card on your heart and say, I release old stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, forever unbound. Boom. So I'm putting this up on here as well. Go ahead and screenshot this. I'm going to need you guys to activate the last activation in combination with this, because those two right there, super powerful for you this week. And the last card is the ever unfolding rose. Okay, crack open. It's happening for you, not to you. And when you think of a rose, first of all, can we talk about how badasses roses are? They are the plant with the highest frequency out of all plants, and they vibrate and resonate at the frequency of love, the heart chakra. So definitely buy yourself some roses this week. I love roses, and I love getting to know the energy of plants by building a relationship to them. So if you want more love in your life, period, more self-love, etc., etc., definitely one way that you can start to work with roses is by just buying yourself roses every week or maybe every 2 weeks when you get paid, you know, and have them in your home and really take your time putting them in a beautiful vase, and, you know, every day put them in a place that you're gonna see them constantly. And when you walk by them, literally stop and smell the roses and be present with them. Notice how they are unfolding every day. I love taking pictures of them and then looking back at the pictures from day 1 versus like day 7 and how much they have blossomed. But the interesting thing about roses is that, you know, as beautiful as they are, they also have those thorns. You know, and that's their own way of protecting their beauty. And I love that it's like, yes, I'm beautiful, but don't fuck with me. And to me, it's just like the most epic embodiment of like divine feminine energy, and the kind of divine feminine energy that I want to be. It's like, yes, look at me and my beauty, and I know it, and it's radiating from the inside out, but don't fuck with me. Let yourself unfold, like surrender. Surrender is like the message from this card for sure. And it says, the challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it, to let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing, to open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. That is one of my favorite mantras, especially when I'm deep in some shit. It's like, okay, this is happening for me, not to me. And then what do? I tap into my magic. I tap into my ability to be an alchemist. And I alchemize the situation by floating above it and saying, what is the lesson in this? And trusting that this is happening for me, not to me. And that allows me to tap into a higher possibility and a higher outcome, and not stay in the lower vibrations of that situation. And then that's how I can alchemize it and then turn it into this beautiful thing. Like every little bad thing that has happened to me, one thing about me is I'm going to alchemize it and create magic. I'm going to create something so beautiful. I'm going to become an even more beautiful person because of those tragedies and those losses and those betrayals, those heartbreaks. Oh my God, baby. Like I am going to be the most gorgeous rose because I'm not going to let those experiences keep me closed in a bud. I'm going to bloom. I'm going to bloom. I'm going to bloom so beautifully that it's just gonna have people in awe of, like, you know when you walk by a rose bush and there's a flower and you're just like, oh my God, like you just have to stop because it's just emanating this beauty. You don't know what that rose went through to emanate like that. That's what I love to tap into, and I want to encourage you all to tap into that as well. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. So open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay, okay? And the Work Your Light says everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. I promise you, you are in the midst of the most magical, beautiful transformation. Allow yourself to be cracked open. Allow yourself to receive. Open your arms and allow yourself to receive all of the magic. All of the magic that is coming with this really tough situation, because you are about to alchemize the fuck out of this, L that you're taking right now, and you're about to turn it into the biggest win, the biggest. And you know how dope it is to look back on the things that you thought were gonna break you, that you thought you were not going to overcome, and look back even at the people who've hurt you, at the people who have disappointed you, at the people who have betrayed you, at the people, or people, places, things, experiences that really blindsided you and snatched the wig off your head with the quickness that you was just there like, I can't believe this happened to me. You know what a blessing it is to be able to look back and be like, damn, I'm so grateful that happened to me. I'm so grateful for that person. I'm so grateful because look how I done came up. Like, look how I really leveled up as a human, as a soul. And like, thank you. Oh, now I'm actually noticing that we had an agreement. We had a contract where you were going to play that character and you was going to do exactly what you did. And I'm so glad that I'm doing the work and I was able to see exactly for what it was, and I didn't let that take me out. Instead, I alchemized it, and here I am. So shout out to you for being one of my biggest teachers, for being one of my biggest blessings, because without that experience, I want to be this person. So thank you. And I know right now that kind of seems really crazy to actually resonate with, because you're like, no, like I absolutely hate this person, or I'm so mad that this happened, or etc. Like I cannot see the good in this at all. It's okay. As long as you just keep yourself open and you don't let this thing close your heart off. You don't close yourself off to the miracles and the blessings that life has available to you because you're going through a hard time right now. Trust me, you're about to see. You're about to see. You're going to connect the dots eventually. You might not connect the dots on this as quickly as you want to. So be patient. Okay? But I promise you, when you do, ooh, you just going to be like that meme. Like, what's that meme from The Wire when the guy's like, that's how you're about to be when you connect the dots and you're like, yo, like, that's crazy. But like, shout out to me because like, I did that. Okay, where's that pride card? Like, shout out to me for doing the work. Shout out to me for being me. Shout out to me for elevating. Shout out to me for understanding that this is part of the bigger picture, part of the divine plan. Shout out to me. Shout out to my higher self. Shout out to her. Okay? Because you're what? You're that girl. This is what you came here to do. Because let me tell you something. You're not about to repeat. You're not about to repeat another lifetime in the same merry-go-round. Girl, you getting off that merry-go-round this lifetime. You learning the lessons. You're not coming back to earth to repeat those lessons again and again. Because in this lifetime, you're getting off that merry-go-round. Okay? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this business energy reading. If you like my vibe, if you are looking for some support in your journey or with whatever you're going through, if you're looking for some clarity, if you're just looking for an authentic space where you can really put the pieces together of what the heck is happening to you in your life, I want to encourage you to check out my offerings. I do 101 soul coaching sessions. Shout out to all of my OGs who have been booking sessions. It's been so nice to see you guys, to catch up with you guys. I'm so proud of your growth and how much you have evolved, and I love to see y'all doing y'all's work. And it just truly brings me so much joy to be able to support you and be of service in this way on your path. I always tell you guys this, and I really mean it. Thank you for being a part of my journey and for allowing you to be a part of mine. This is a beautiful reciprocal relationship in that way, because as much as y'all be like, thank you so much, oh my God, it's like I feel that way about you guys too, because y'all be connecting the dots for me as well. I just love my community so much, and I'm so excited about the way that God is really using me and using y'all to create magic. Like, it's just wow. And I'm so excited to see how everything is going to continue to unfold. So with that being said, thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out the description for my offerings, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Oh, and baby, get into this makeup look. We got a little blue and orange, combination in this hair. I don't know what I'm doing with this hair. I have like so many curl patterns happening here. We got the tight curls in the back, and then these little wand curls that I just put together. I don't know what's happening, but she's just playing and having fun. Bye.